Good morning to all of you. Welcome to Legal Matters by Sai Babu Sankara. Happy Sunday to you all. As a relaxing measure, today let us discuss the voting rights of the persons in custody. Maybe under trial prisoners, maybe convicts, or maybe persons who are arrested in detention cases, whether they have got a right to vote. You all know that in preventive detention, definitely the court will allow the persons to come to the assembly and exercise their vote. As per Article 366 of the 326 of the Constitution of India. Why this has come into discussion is last month. Actually on 20th also Supreme Court refused. But last month, Bombay High Court, while dealing with the case of Nawab Malik, his name is too lengthy name. That's why I have given a shortcut name. Muhammad Nawab Malik versus Director of Enforcement. So, while discussing the bail petition number 1789 by 2022 on 17/6/2022, please remember it is last month, the Bombay High Court refused the plea of two MLAs, that is Nawab Malik and Anil Deshmukh of Nationalist Congress Party NCP, to exercise the franchise in the elections to MLC seats which were scheduled on 20th June 2022. Why? Because they were in jail. You know, Anil Deshmukh, he worked as the Home Minister. Nawab Malik very recently was sent to jail. Right. So, the Bombay High Court, placing reliance on Section 62, Clause 5. Please remember the legal provision. Section 62, Clause 5 of the Representation of the People Act 1951. The High Court said, no person shall vote in any election if he is confined in a prison, maybe as an under trial prisoner or imprisonment, except detenue. Already I told you, detenues can. So why this discretion? Because you may be knowing Preventive Detention Act. So definitely there the person will be kept under detention for about 6 months or so. So normally they will be political prisoners. Of course, other prisoners also will be there, but normally most of them will be political prisoners. Yes, they have to exercise their adult franchise or right to vote. But people who are under trial, why they are not being allowed? This is the important point. So actually, in view of the court, already in case of Ankul Chandra Pradhan versus Union of India, Supreme Court held that Section 62, Clause 5, that is not allowing the people to exercise the vote, is reasonable, as state will have to make heavy security arrangements and it has to apply so much of force for the exercise of this vote. It's not practically possible. So therefore, better to ask them, better to refrain them from voting. Right? So, you may be knowing, election, it is defined under Section 2, Clause 1, Subclause D of the Representation of People's Act. Of course, election means there they are stated as elections to Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha and MLA and MLC. Right? So, this is the legal problem. Now, coming to the constitutional point, Article 326. Yes, Article 326 of the Constitution of India deals with the voting rights and adult suffrage which we can call. So, a right to vote has been conferred on any person who attained the age of 18 years. So, that means this is the right to vote. SC, Supreme Court of India, recognized the right to vote in the case of People's Union for Civil Liberties versus Union of India. Right? So, already I told you in Ankul Chandra Pradhan case, Supreme Court also said, no, we are not going to allow. Even on 20th June 2022, two judges bench, Justice C.T. Ravikumar and Sudhanshu Dhulia. So they held that right to vote is not a fundamental right. It is only a constitutional right. Suppose if it is a fundamental right, yes, there is enforceability by the court, and it is not a fundamental right. So no doubt Constitution has given you. So suppose if you don't vote, what is the Constitution going to do? Nothing. In other countries like Australia, if you don't vote, definitely you will be punished for some time. Right? So anyway, in this connection, I want to tell you the situation of the other countries. In other countries, please remember that the election ballot or the election officials will go to the jail and they will hold the box, and there the election will be continued. So just like our ward, so election, the booth process will be there in the jail. So if that is implemented in India, it will be better, because right to vote is a constitutional right, and you cannot ask the people not to exercise the vote. But of course, Section 62 for Clause 5 says yes, you can make them abstain. You cannot, you need not allow them. But at the same time, if it is done by at the present level by a board, it will be sufficient. So with this, I am concluding. Thank you.